Brothers, let's stop pretending we don't see it. How many times have you watched a woman do something shady, manipulative, or flat out wrong? But when the dust settles, she's crying, playing innocent, and somehow you're the bad guy. It's one of the most frustrating games in modern relationships, the victim mask. Women have mastered the art of flipping the script. Turn their own betrayal, disrespect, or selfishness into your problem. They'll cheat, lie, disrespect you, but by the end of the argument, they've convinced everyone around them, sometimes even you, that they were the ones who were hurt. Today, I'm dropping 7 truth bombs about why women love playing the victim even when they're the villain, and how this game has left countless men broken, confused, and questioning their own sanity. Point 1. Playing the victim gets them sympathy, not accountability. When a woman slips into victim mode, she knows one thing: people will rally around her. Sympathy is a currency, and she spends it like a billionaire. She cries to her friends, paints herself as unloved or misunderstood, and suddenly, no one cares about what she actually did. She can key your car, curse you out in public, disrespect you in front of her family, but if she sheds tears and says, "He made me feel unsafe," she wins. That's the dirty truth. Women figure out that society gives them automatic protection when they look vulnerable. And the man, he's left standing there, painted as a monster, even if he was the one who endured the abuse. You'll hear in phrases like, "I wouldn't have reacted that way if you didn't push me," or "You don't understand how you make me feel." Notice the shift? It's never about what she did. It's about how she can frame herself as the wounded one. Men need to wake up to this reality. Victimhood is her shield against accountability. Point 2. Victimhood is a power move disguised as weakness. Here's the irony. When women play the victim, they look powerless. But what they're really doing is grabbing power. Think about arguments you've had. You point out her lies, her contradictions, her bad behavior. She knows she's cornered. She can't debate the facts. So what does she do? She cries. She collapses. She says, "You're attacking me. You don't love me. I can't do anything right with you." Suddenly, you're not arguing about the truth anymore. You're defending yourself against being too harsh. It's not weakness. It's strategy. It flips the power dynamic instantly. Now she's in control because the focus is no longer on what she did, but on how mean you were for pointing it out. This is why women can look fragile while holding all the power. They weaponize emotion. They know men are taught to protect women, not confront them. By acting wounded, they manipulate your instinct to back down. Brothers, don't confuse tears with truth. Most times, her victim act isn't about pain. It's about winning the upper hand. Point 3. The villain role feels too heavy, so they rewrite the script. Let's get brutally real. Most women cannot handle being seen as the bad one. If she cheats, she'll tell herself you weren't giving her attention. If she disrespects you, she'll blame your tone. If she flirts with other men, she'll justify it by saying you made her feel unwanted. In her mind, she can't be the villain. So what does she do? She rewrites the story so that you're the cause of her actions. That's why you hear women say things like, "I wouldn't have done that if you made me feel loved," or "If you were the man I needed, I wouldn't have had to look elsewhere." She's not just explaining. She's rewriting history to protect her self-image. And the worst part? Men buy it, instead of holding her accountable. Too many men start doubting themselves, wondering if they really were the problem. That's the psychological trick of female victimhood. It shifts the guilt, erases her responsibility, and plants the blame squarely on your shoulders. Point 4. Victimhood protects them from consequences. Brothers, here's the cold truth. Women play the victim because it works. Society bends over backward to excuse their behavior when they appear vulnerable. A man gets caught cheating, and he's dragged to the mud with no mercy. A woman gets caught cheating, and suddenly you hear, "Well, maybe she wasn't happy. Maybe he wasn't giving her what she needed." See the difference? Men are condemned, women are excused. Playing the victim shields them from the consequences of their own choices. That's why you'll hear lines like, "I didn't mean to hurt you, I was just hurt myself." It doesn't erase what she did, but it changes the narrative. She's not malicious, she's broken. She's not accountable, she's healing. And while you're left carrying the scars, she walks away with sympathy, not shame. This is how women manage to burn bridges, destroy relationships, and still get labeled strong and brave for surviving situations they created. Point 5. Victimhood manipulates public perception. Let's get brutally real. Women know how powerful their victim story looks in public. They'll cry to friends, post cryptic quotes on Instagram, and suddenly, everyone thinks you're the monster. Even her family will rally to her defense without knowing a single detail. You could have screenshots, receipts, proof stacked a mile high, but her tears and shaky voice will outweigh your facts every time. Why? Because society doesn't care about evidence when it comes to women. They care about feelings. Women weaponize this. They know all they have to do is spin the story. He was cold. He was controlling. He didn't make me feel loved. And just like that, you're branded as toxic, while she showered with love and support. That's why so many men walk away from breakups feeling erased, unheard, even demonized. It's not that the truth wasn't there. It's that no one wanted to hear it once she put on the victim mask. Point 6. Playing the victim justifies betrayal. Here's where it gets ugly. Women don't just play the victim to avoid accountability. They play it to justify betrayal. She'll cheat and then say, "I only did it because I felt so unloved." She'll disrespect you and then claim, "I was just acting out because you weren't there for me emotionally." Notice how it works? Her wrong actions become your fault. The betrayal gets rebranded as a reaction. This is why so many men feel like they're the ones apologizing after being cheated on, because she's convinced them that his failures drove her to it. Brothers, let this burn into your mind. Betrayal is a choice, not a reaction. Her actions are hers alone. But the victim role lets her dress up betrayal as self-defense. And too many men, desperate to fix things, end up shouldering blame for wounds they didn't cause. Point 7. Victimhood is her escape from growth. The harshest truth of all? Women love playing the victim because it saves them from ever having to grow. When you're always a hurt one, you never have to reflect, change, or own your flaws. She doesn't have to face her selfishness if she can convince herself she's just traumatized. She doesn't have to address her betrayal if she can say she was driven to it. She doesn't have to work on her character if she's always painting herself as the misunderstood soul who meant well. Playing the victim isn't just manipulation. It's an escape route from maturity. And brothers, here's the bitter wisdom. The more you allow her to play that role, the longer she stays in it. Every time you excuse her, every time you buy the tears, every time you shoulder the blame, you're not helping her, you're enabling her. Women stay victims because men let them. Men, if this hit home, you know exactly why women love playing the victim even when they're the villain. It's not about truth. It's about control, perception, and escaping accountability. And if you don't see it for what it is, you'll keep falling for the same trap. Stand firm. Stop apologizing for what you didn't cause. And never let a woman's victim mask blind you to the reality of her actions. Backhand Index Pointing Right, subscribe, like, comment, and share with brothers and sons who need this truth.